Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we're continuing our treats to packaging series where I'm making a treat in my kitchen and then I'm packaging it in the paper crafting room to give it as gifts. And today's is an easy one, okay? It's a don't blink recipe. 3 ingredients. You're gonna need pretzels, Rolos, and you're gonna need pecans. That's how easy it is, and your oven. Now, I bought the Rolos that are opened already. They come in the package already open, which means they're gonna be a little bit, let me show you. They're a little like beat up. Don't stress about that. That's gonna go away in the oven, okay? So let me show you how to assemble these Rolo turtles. So on my pan, I have laid out some pretzels. Now I'm using the little pretzel, I think these are knots, or are these called pretzel knots? I think they are, but I'm using these little shape. You don't have to use this shape. You can absolutely use the little square pretzels, which is actually what I see most people doing. But I thought it might be pretty to have a little bit of that round edge showing, kind of like a traditional turtle. You know how they're shaped? So what you do, you lay out your pretzels on a baking sheet, and then you sit your Rolos on top of each one. Now, while I'm doing this, I want to tell you, I'm using a piece of aluminum foil underneath. A couple reasons. Number one, I don't want to clean chocolate off of this pan. And number two, it just keeps it neat and clean. But you can do this with parchment paper. It's literally in the oven 2 minutes. Like, that's how long we cook it. So if you just want to stick some parchment paper into there, that's fine. So load all of these guys up with a Rolo right in the center, and then I'll show you the next step. The thing that makes this work is because this Rolo is caramel around or covered in chocolate, right? So it gives it that turtle feel when it melts. I imagine you could do this with any other kind of candy that would have the same melting property. So if you had, I know a lot of times from TJ Maxx, we'll buy those chocolate covered caramels that they have. I forget the brand. I think it's Sanders. I bet those would work and probably be just as beautiful, maybe even more delicious. Who knows? Okay, I've got my pecans, but they don't go on now. Pecans go on last. What we're gonna do right here is we're gonna take this to our oven. We're gonna put it in on 325 for 2 minutes, no more than that. All we want this to do is soften the chocolate, and then we'll come back and make the turtle happen. Okay, so once these are out of the oven, you then take a pecan and you press it down, and these probably could have gone in the oven a little longer than that, but you press the pecan without burning yourself to make the turtle, and some of them are gonna work better than others. There we go. And you see how it's just leaving, I like the pretzel show, and I think it'll be cute in our packaging. You just press these down, just like so. And pretty easy, 3 ingredient recipe. I'm gonna get all of these turtles pressed, and then I'll show you what they look like. So you can see when you press the pecan down, it moves that Rolo around the pretzel. Now you just wanna let these come back to room temp. Some people in the recipes I've read say you can put them in the fridge. I don't like to do that because if you do that, sometimes the chocolate will get that cloud again. So I just kind of let them sit, you know, at room temp until they come back to room temp, and they will harden back up. But if you're in a hurry, no shame, throw them in the fridge. Okay, so now when these are nice and firm, we're gonna take these to the paper craft room and we're gonna package them as gifts. This might feel like a spoiler alert, but this is what we're going to do with our little pecan treats. And here's what I'll tell you about this one. This one takes a little bit more work to put together because we have to make these little dividers between them. If you don't make the dividers, they kind of just fall down. But here's the cool thing. These are the easiest treats to make. So it takes literally 2 minutes in the oven to get that chocolate to melt and fix this up. So spend the time on the packaging and I don't feel so bad. Let me show you how I did this. So these are the bags that I bought. These are those pretzel bags. I think they're literally called pretzel bags on Amazon. We'll link what I used in the description. And you're gonna need a piece of cardstock. Now this cardstock, I'll show you my template. So my template shows you need a piece that is 10 by 3, and that's what you need, but I want to show you this. What I did was I cut a piece that was 3 by 12. I'm going to put this piece back here. 3 by 12, and I cut that 2 inches off to give me 10, and we're going to save that 2 inches because we're going to use it on our packaging as well, so I'm going to put it aside for a second. Now, like I said, this one takes a little more work, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab out our scoreboard. And you can do this on a traditional scoreboard, or you can do this on your trimmer scoreboard combo, okay? Actually, the trimmer scoreboard combo might give you a finer score line, and you might get a better result from that, but I'm going to use this one today. All right, the first thing I need to do is I need to score 1/2 inch in on the 3-inch side, and then I'm going to score it 2.5 on the 3-inch side, which actually is 1/2 inch in. So we're just doing, this is 1/2 inch in on both sides. Then we're going to turn it. Now this is where I think your trimmer is better for this, okay? You know, the scoreboard or the score blade on your trimmer. But we need to score this at 1/4 inch here, okay? Then we're going to go to 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4. Let me show you that, okay? We just did this series of scores right here. 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4. And then we're going to move down and do that series again. This time we're going to go to 4 3/4, 5, 5 1/4, okay? And then we're going to move down again, and this time we'll do it at 7 1/4, 7 1/2, 7 3/4. Then we've got to do one more, and it's at 9 3/4. Now I want to show you something. If you're really keen about this, okay? If you take a full sheet of 12 by 12, I'm showing you the one piece, okay? But if you take a full sheet of 12 by 12 and you go ahead and you do all your score marks before you cut your 12 by 12 apart, especially the score marks that go this way, especially these guys, you can always come back after you cut them apart and do these 1/2 inch side. You can get 4 of these from one sheet of 12 by 12 and you would have all those marks we just did scored in one pass. Okay, so I didn't do that today, but that's a good suggestion if you're making a bunch of them. Now, we're going to do our folding and our creasing because we need to see what we're working with. So I'm going to go ahead and fold all my lines. The side 1/2 inch turns up like so. And then this other 1/2 inch turns up. This is basically the side barrier. If you've ever made those nugget packages, you know, where you make the little chocolate nuggets and cover them, this is kind of like what you put in the packaging to hold them. The problem, like I said earlier, with the pretzels is they just kind of puddle at the bottom and we want them to lay out. All right, so now what we do is we fold and crease all our score lines. Now your 1/4 inch pieces on the end turn up. Okay, this one and this one turn up. Then these pieces in the middle become barriers. So what you do is the middle score mark goes up, and I have to just get my eyes on it. So that middle score mark goes up. Then the other two, I want to show you. I kind of did this and kind of pushed my paper together like that to reveal those little score marks. Those other two become a mountain. Okay, so when you look at it from the side, you see what we did there? We've got like a little mountain valley situation. That's what we're looking for, okay? So the middle comes up and the two other ones go down. And here's what I did. I went to the edge of my desk and I used my desk to help me get these folds. But since I'm doing this on camera and you can't really see that, we'll just kind of do it the difficult way. It is a little more difficult here, but just use the edge of your table to help you turn these up. And you just want to get them to stand up. You can fold it like this, then do the fold, you know, then do the crease like this, and that will make it stand up as well. So when you open this guy out, it's right there. You just want to have those little kind of steps, okay? Then what you do, you're going to make a little notch. See all these little notches where these little black pieces are? Those get cut away. Like I said, this one's a little more work. In order to make this one look good, we had to do a little more work to it. No big deal, because the candy literally takes seconds. So in this treat, you'll spend more time on the packaging than you do the candy. What I do is just run down to make my snips sideways, and then I come back and cut those little flaps out. You have to get rid of those flaps because they just don't let us fold like we need to in a second. So there's that one, and then I just do like this. Actually, I like to do it from the back where I can see it. And from the back, I can just put my blade in there and cut right on that score mark and see what I'm doing. Now, this is a great place to use some scrap cardstock if you have it. If you have some cardstock you don't love, because this is going to be, you know, food packaging that you probably won't, they probably won't keep, you know what I'm saying? So it's a great place to use some pieces that maybe you've just been kind of hanging on to, some kind of the last little bits of some cardstock and things like that. Good place to do it. All right, on this side, do the snips like so. Turn this guy down, trim it out. And this is what we have, okay? Now, the other thing I'm going to do is apply a little glue inside of here. You might want to use a sticky tape, but I want to show you this. Do you see how I'm avoiding the edges? I don't want to put the glue where it will get onto the food. So I'm just kind of tacking the middle section of this down. Honestly, I don't even know that you would have to glue these together to make this work. I feel like you might, to get them to stand up really nice like this. Let me get that where you can see it. But you don't want glue everywhere. So what I also might do is do this and let them dry before I package them so there's no wet glue anywhere. That one doesn't want to stay down. Now we'll do this one. Here's what I did earlier. I pushed them under. Then I took my bone folder and did all that pressing because, you know, art glitter glue specifically likes pressure. And I didn't put much in there. I just wanted just enough to hold it, so I have to kind of press and press. There we go. Just enough. And now these guys will stand up for me. And that's what we're looking for. Our ends are going to be barriers. Okay, and our sides are going to be barriers, just like this. Now, these little homes that we created are for our pretzels. Now, let me say this. You know that this series was all about paper crafting and treats. We were trying to mix our two loves together for Christmas presents. But my in-law's caregiver, her name is Deborah, she makes these treats every year. These and about 5 or 6 other treats that she creates. And she puts them into little tins, and she puts a bow on them, and she puts a tag on them, and that's the present she gives. So you don't have to do this. These could go in a tin, and they would be perfect to give them away just, you know, in a little container. But if you wanted to use your paper crafting and you wanted to kind of do some engineering, there you go. Little something different. Now, the hardest part of this guy is getting him in your bag. And what I found works the easiest is and I do this every time. Look, I left one little corner down there. Now you can see why we need it to go away. Let me trim that one off. Every single one I made earlier, I left one corner on. You'd think I'd learn, but I don't. So we'll get that off of there. Okay, we'll turn this around. And what I found works the easiest is just to pay attention to the one on the bottom first and get it inside the little bag, just like that. And then each one, squeeze the sides in and push them as you pull the top of the bag up, and it slides in. And it really is cute. It really is. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we want to fold this down so we have about an inch, a little less than an inch of the plastic at the top. And what I did was with it like this, I just reached behind and pulled the little self-sealing part. If I can get my fingers on it. There it is. I just pulled it where it was. And then I reached back and stuck it down, just like that. Stand all your little sides back up. And you know that piece we saved earlier that I told you not to get rid of? We're going to use it here. So I put it into my scoreboard, and I scored it in half at 1 inch. Because remember, it was a 2-inch piece. And what I love about this is this looks like we did like some custom work, because it's going to match the back of your cardstock. Because what I do is I turn the pattern in because it's a little busy, right? Then at the top, I place this over, and I used my tiny attacher. I'm in love with this guy. And I just did a couple of little staples here, and that does that packaging. Okay, and then one more thing. From our stamp set called Made For You tags, I don't know if you know this or not, but when you cut our big tags out, you can get 8 of this tag from one piece of 8.5 by 11, but you can get 16 of this one. We'll link the video explaining how that works. You can get 16 of the smaller tag from one piece of 8.5 by 11. So I love these smaller tags, and that's what I did here. I cut out one of the small tags, okay? Then I took some of the wording from that set and a couple of inks. I like using multiple inks. I did the stamp itself in green, so I'm going to do these words in red. And the words I chose were homemade, and I just stamped that on my little tag. And I chose for the holidays. There's so many words on that stamp set you can mix together on your little tags. And then the last one I did was with love. And so I stamped that one here. And I just kind of did it straight right here and saved myself a little room if I wanted to sign. Isn't that cute? Now let me show you. Because we spent all that time making packaging, I want this to go on easy so I can kind of move quickly through these and make a bunch of them. So I'm taking a piece of baker's twine and I'm going to tie a bow, kind of an in-the-air bow. You know what I mean? Just kind of get it started. And then I'm going to trim these edges. And I use my tiny attacher again. This is what I used to put this on. I just laid that bow up there, not even waiting for glue to dry. I took the tiny attacher, stapled the top little piece, and I went underneath my bow and stapled there. And now I have a little bow at the top. It was super quick and easy. So kind of cheats where you can take cheats. If you don't have a stapler or a tiny attacher, you can certainly poke a hole and run some twine through there. That'll be super cute. But aren't these kind of cute? Now, this is a lot of work making this little package, so you might only want to make, you know, one for every place setting or something like that. But again, I just wanted to show you kind of a different kind of packaging and different way to do things. And so in the back, it looks really neat like this. And I love it. There's probably 100 ways to package these, guys. This is just one I thought of that I wanted to share with you. So that is the end of our food packaging series. We kind of did like 4 food packaging ideas throughout the month of December, and I really enjoyed that. I hope you did. Let me know what you think if you enjoyed it. I would love to do this again next year. Maybe this is our December thing, different ways to package different food gifts. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you have the merriest Christmas. I won't have another video come out before Christmas, so I hope you have a wonderful holiday. And until next time, bye now.